The United States is trying to help people who had a communist tyranny imposed on them by force, deception, and fraud. And either we continue with that tradition, which has always been ours, or we give that up entirely.
It's a crying shame. In a year where we get crying shames daily, sometimes hourly, it's hard not to get desensitized to the next affront to values, erosion of common sense, or blatant race baiting in this country. A 5-year-old, Cannon Hennett, was shot to death execution style by a 25-year-old man. Should it matter that Cannon was white and his assassin was black? Of course not, yet it does. The proof is in the mainstream media's unwillingness to cover the story, and only through public outcry has the story started to get touched upon. During Chicago looting, not only was personal property and private property destroyed, looters decided to include the Ronald McDonald House on their list of places to terrorize and garner reparations, which was housing 6 children and their families at the time, impacting even a toddler with a possibly terminal illness who'd planned a birthday party. The left is talking about coming and taking our guns. Rioters in Portland can be arrested but not charged. You can be fired from your job for criticizing the BLM movement. These few things only scratch the surface. There's many more that will just make you hang your head in disgust. But let's talk about New York City in its divine wisdom and leadership by William Wilhelm Jr., or better known as Mayor Bill de Blasio, has decided to cancel the Twin Beams of Light to commemorate the 19th anniversary of the terrorist assaults on New York City, the Pentagon, and thanks to the courageous actions of our fellow Americans, a failed attempt to overpower another jetliner and use it as a massive weapon. Unfortunately, those brave souls lost their lives, but saved countless others by their patriotism and heroics. But Bill says fuck that. Him and Michael Frazier, a spokesman for the National September 11th Memorial and Museum, said it would be too dangerous for workers to set up the display during a pandemic. Hard to argue with that unless you consider that painting BLM murals, violent mobs terrorizing the city and forcing NYPD to protect those murals, signs, and public graffiti praising Marxist organizations are deemed safe. Something else that's safe to do in New York City during this awful pandemic that would have us fail to celebrate the heroism of everyday Americans during the most heinous attack on our sovereign shores in history. We can all crowd around the television and see Taylor Swift perform Fuck the Police in all her woke, hateful glory. That's right. On August 30th, 2020, a Sunday, the MTV Video Music Awards will air from multiple outdoor locations across, yep, you guessed it, NYC. I'm tired of Hollywood. I'm tired of the music industry. I'm tired of pro sports. I'm tired of evil politicians. They're trying to shove a failed narrative down our throats. We can't celebrate a moment in our history that sickened us with grief and rage, but brought about patriotism this country hasn't seen in generations. We were all Americans on September 11, 2001. It didn't matter if you were white, black, brown, yellow, red. We were Americans, every single one of us. You see, that kind of thing is dangerous for the leftist narrative. However, broadcasting celebrities that can tell us how racist we are, how privileged we are, as they munch on lobster in the green room and get drove off in fancy cars to their gated mansions, they have no worries. They have virtue signaled and all is well with them. If only the rest of the country would fall in line. Not going to happen. Already the tide is turning. Believe it. Don't take my word for it. Look for yourself. Not in the media. You won't see it there. But get out. Look around. Look at your local news sources. The silent majority is waking up. I only hope it's not too late.